You don't have to wait for January 1st to start showing up like the version of yourself you want to be next year. In fact, the version of you that you want to be in 2026 starts being built now, in the quiet, in the discipline, in the habits and decisions that you start making now before the year even ends.
This is the time of the year where most people are just tired mentally, physically, and emotionally. Work feels heavy, routines get messy, and everyone waits for January for a fresh start. And honestly, it's understandable. This year has been long. You're burnt out and you want a break. But as a doctor, I have come to learn something very important. January is not a magic button that suddenly makes you healthy, disciplined, organized, making more money, and hitting every goal. Your life doesn't reset because the calendar changes. It resets because you do.
And this is why I take this season seriously. Not to chase perfection, but to realign, to return to the habits and systems that I've refined over years, systems that keep me balanced, disciplined, and grounded, inside and outside medicine.
So today I'm taking you through everything that I reset before the new year, why it matters, and why you too should reset your life before the year ends. I see burnout, hormonal imbalance, stress, and anxiety every single day, in patients and even in my colleagues. But the truth is, most of these issues don't come from illness. They come from lifestyle and habits, from the stress that you never regulate, from your rushed mornings that shock your cortisol, your odd sleep patterns that confuse your hormones. This is why routines matter. This is why discipline matters. It's not just for vibes and aesthetics, even though it's nice. It's actually physiological.
So that means this isn't about trying new routines. It's about taking what works for you and putting it into practice. I've been waking up early since med school, and every season I refine what actually works. Slow mornings have become a non-negotiable for me. Not because it's trendy, but because it's actually what works for my schedule, and most importantly, because medically it matters. Your hormonal balance, your cortisol response, your mood, all of it is shaped by the first few minutes of your day. So I avoid rushing, I avoid my phone, I give my body a calm, intentional start because it makes me a better woman, a better doctor for my patients, and a better version of myself. A grounded morning always leads to a grounded day. And part of having a grounded day is showing up for your body, because discipline doesn't start at your desk, it starts in your health. No matter how perfect you think you are, you cannot outrun a chaotic lifestyle. You cannot outthink a tired body. And you definitely can't build a disciplined life on top of poor health, even if you try. As a reproductive health doctor, I see this every day. Your hormones, your mood, your insulin levels, your fertility, they are all deeply affected by how you move, how you eat, and how you hydrate. Movement alone improves insulin sensitivity, reduces inflammation, supports ovulation, balances cortisol, and boosts blood flow to your reproductive organs. So, it matters for ovarian health. It matters for sperm quality. It matters for your future fertility, even if you're not trying for a baby right now. And it doesn't just stop at exercise. A nutrient-dense diet, whole foods, lean proteins, healthy fats, colorful vegetables, enough calories, all this literally feeds your hormones. And hydration, something as simple as drinking enough water can change your energy levels, your skin, your cervical mucus quality, your digestion, and your mental clarity. Most people don't need a dramatic lifestyle change. They just need the basics. So move your body, eat like someone who loves themselves, drink your water. If you want 2026 to feel different, start with your health, start with your habits, start with your body.
The way you're supposed is so cute.
And once my body is regulated, fueled, and grounded, I can turn my focus to the other part of my life, the part where discipline meets purpose. Your career is important, yes, but it cannot be your entire identity. As a doctor, my work is meaningful, demanding, and deeply fulfilling. But I refuse to let medicine be the only thing that defines my life. I want to grow in my profession absolutely, and I set goals in that regard every year. But I also want a life outside the hospital. I want goals that make me excited. I want passions that stretch me. I want projects that remind me of who I am outside my job title. Because the truth is, you can be excellent at your job and still feel empty. You can be the hardest worker in the room and still feel like your life lacks purpose. You need something that is yours, something that you're building, something you're growing, something you're becoming. And for me, that's my platforms, my products, and the vision I'm building for women's health. This gives me purpose outside the hospital. It stretches me in ways medicine could never, and that balance makes me better professionally and personally. And this is why productivity matters. Again, not for aesthetics or hustle culture, but because structure actually allows you to build a life that is bigger than your 9 to 5. So at the end of every year, I reset my work systems. My planner, my digital files, my workflow, my learning goals for the next year, and my personal projects. Because the version of me I'm becoming deserves structure, she deserves discipline, and she deserves progress that is intentional, not accidental. But purpose doesn't thrive in chaos, especially financial chaos. So the next thing I always reset before a new year is my money. Financial health is one of the most underrated forms of wellness. Money affects everything, literally. I see women every day dealing with anxiety that is tied directly to financial instability or a lack of structure. And as someone working in medicine, a career that is demanding, unpredictable, and emotionally heavy, I refuse to add financial chaos on top of that. So before every new year, I reset my finances. I review my expenses, audit my habits, clean up subscriptions, and get really honest about where my money is going and plan intentionally for the year ahead. Everyone dreams of having financial stability and financial freedom, but very few people actually set systems in place to achieve it. Your financial habits shape your future just as much as your health habits do. And I'll be honest, 2024 humbled me financially. It dusted me. I made money, yes, but I hadn't been managing it well. And then on top of that, life happened and threw me expenses I had never planned for, things completely beyond my control. If I had been disciplined with my money from the beginning, perhaps that twist of events wouldn't have hit me as hard as it did. I learned the hard way that financial discipline protects you from life's unpredictability. So in 2025, this year, I built better systems for myself. I redesigned how I track my money, how I plan my expenses, how I save, how I prepare for emergencies, and created a new structure for myself. One that's simple, sustainable, and actually forces me to stay accountable and build long-term stability. So moving on with our reset and locking in before the year ends, once my money is in order, my mind follows. There's a peace that comes from knowing your life is aligned. You can't become the man or woman you want to be if your mind is overwhelmed, cluttered, or exhausted. Medicine is emotionally heavy. You hold people's stories, their fears, their hopes, and if you don't refill yourself intentionally, you will run on empty without even realizing it. This year taught me that peace isn't something you find, it's something you have to create. So I now protect the practices that refill me and keep me sane. Reading, journaling, quiet moments, solo dates. I choose solitude when I need it, softness when I feel overwhelmed, and silence when my spirit needs space. These small little rituals make me feel softer, more grounded, and more emotionally regulated. And that obviously carries into every area of my life. Remember, your reset and locking in before 2026 is not about doing more. It's about becoming more, becoming clearer, becoming calmer. And for me personally, becoming a woman with presence, not panic.
I used to be such a soldier, a hustler, always fighting for my life, school and work, every era. But now, run me my soft life, child. I am done suffering. One of the biggest lessons I've learned this year is that I can be a disciplined woman and still be soft at the same time. Medicine doesn't have to take that away from me. I have refused to let medicine harden me or turn my heart into stone. I wanted to show up for my patients with excellence, yes, with discipline, yes, but also with softness, with peace and intention. And another thing I have learned is that peace is not a luxury. It's a priority. So I have become very intentional about protecting it, my space, my energy, my mind, my routines, my boundaries, and more importantly, the woman that I'm becoming. And that's why my evening routine matters just as much as my morning one.
My evenings are my boundary. It's the space between who I am for the world and who I am for myself. It's where I transition from doctor to woman. Over the years, I've learned that how I end my day determines how I start the next one, physically, mentally, and hormonally. Some days in medicine are heavy, emotional, and draining, and if I don't slow down intentionally, I carry that into the next day. So every night I do something simple. I slow everything down. I eat dinner earlier. I put my phone away. I disconnect totally from work. I choose warm lighting, soft music, and quiet moments that help regulate my nervous system. I take care of my skin, I tidy my space, and I check my planner so that tomorrow feels clear. And then I rest, because deep rest is hormonal repair. Deep rest is emotional clarity, and deep rest is discipline. I don't chase a productive evening anymore. I chase a peaceful one. And a peaceful evening is what prepares me to show up again tomorrow morning with strength.
I want 2026 to meet a woman who is rested, regulated, intentional, and aligned, not burnt out, overwhelmed, or stretched thin. So as I close out this reset, here are my non-negotiables for 2026. The things that I refuse to compromise on for my health, my peace, and my career.
This is how I'm locking in before 2026, because momentum doesn't start in January, it starts now. Lock in before 2026, slow down, realign, and make space for the version of you want to bring into the new year. Remember, your life will not rise to the level of your goals, it will fall to the level of your systems.
If you have reached this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. I hope this video inspired you to seriously analyze your life and lock in before January. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Comment below what aspect of your life you're going to start working on before 2026 arrives. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Do keep your notifications on and keep your eyes peeled to my Instagram pages, because the first 50 people to purchase my new planners are going to get serious gifts and freebies with your packages. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.